Good morning. Happy Saturday, my friend. How are you, Kira?
Happy Saturday, my friend. I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
I'm great. Just because I'm here with you. You know that.
This is a bliss like every Saturday morning to start
Exactly.
my mornings with you and our Versus Visionaries. And let's get going.
Let's do it.
This topic is at the very core of success of innovation. It's about resources versus resourceful, right?
I love it.
We are going to give also some definitions about it, but let's start with a question, right? And the question is, have you ever felt stuck because you don't have the perfect tools or enough money? I felt stuck many times in my life.
Don't tell me. You're talking about the story of my life.
Yes, and I think in life we've been in many times in these situations when we had to improvise. So today I'm going to share a personal story that might just change the perspective and show you how tapping into creativity or bridging the gap when traditional resources fell short can become a way of really becoming resourceful, right? Mm-hmm. So my story, it's a very simple story. It's about a dilemma which I had when I was a teenage.
Oh, yes. We have many dilemmas at that age, right?
Yes, but I was in high school, and when I was in high school, I felt invisible. My family didn't have the means to buy me trendy outfits, and I often wore clothes that made me blend into the background, right? And as the prom, it's that celebration at the end of high school was approaching, right? I found myself with nothing to wear just 2 days before the event. Oh. I was devastated.
2 days before? Oh my God.
I was devastated, and I was like really thinking that I'm gonna skip the prom altogether. But then it hit me, because this event marked the end of an important chapter in my life.
Of course, you're finishing
there. Exactly, my friends will be there. I didn't want to miss out creating those memories, right? And what
you were not going to be on the pictures, on the photos.
I'll not be on the albums. I'll not be on the photos. I'll miss those kind of memorable moments with having fun. It's all
just because of the clothes.
Exactly. So what I did, I went to my mom's wardrobe. And with the help of my aunt, I transformed a long navy blue long skirt into a stunning strapless dress.
Wow.
I added, and I remember even now how from cardboard, I did the kind of blue azure ribbon belt to really support, to really mark my waist,
your waist.
My waist. And we crafted also an undergarment with 10 meters of veil in order to bring the volume and to have a volume.
Wow. Do you have a picture? I would like to see that picture.
I think somewhere in my family album I still have a picture of that. But when I was thinking about that moment and coming to this podcast talking about resourcefulness, right? I realized that our creativity and knowing exactly our strengths and the problems to solve for bring us in this situation that we can make miracles out of almost nothing. And this is resourcefulness, right? And you know, I did my dress, like my aunt was like, she was sewing like, you know, endlessly overnight. I borrowed a necklace for my best friend. And what that resourcefulness created for me, it created an amazing memory, right? Because that outfit was an amazing one, but it was just because it was unique to me and I knew exactly the story of the outfit, right?
The story behind it.
The story behind. And I didn't pour money into it. I just channeled the creativity and I become resourceful with the resources at hand, right?
With everything you had at that moment, you were able to reuse it.
Exactly, exactly. So I think I'm so grateful that I had that lesson very early in my youth, because I learned what are the differences between being resourcefulness and what is the meaning of the resources, right? Because resources are the assets available to us, to you, to me. It's about, the money, the people, the information. These are resources, right? But when it comes to being resourcefulness, this is an ability, right? So
it's like when you are resourceful, you become a resource itself.
In itself, exactly. Because resources are just assets, where resourcefulness, it's our ability to become a resource.
Exactly.
Right? And it's our ability to overcome a difficulty in a specific moment, involving our creativity and problem solving, right? So
beautiful.
This is like a very fun example, because there are so many other examples in life, right?
Yeah. But this is very graphic, right? You can really imagine it, visualize it.
Yeah. But for our versus visionaries, there are so many other use cases. Let's say, if you watch the Apollo 13 movie, right? You see how the crew become extremely resourceful to overcome the minimal resource, to overcome the situation with minimal resources, right? You have the example of Oprah's career starting being very resourceful, right? You have the Steve Jobs, starting his big idea, big business in a garage, right? All these are examples of being resourcefulness. What do you think, Vicky? So how shall we look into some tools to give our visionaries in order to enable their ability to being resourcefulness?
Well, now that I was listening to your story, of course, it came to my mind the times I was also becoming a resourceful, And one thing that I have is, anytime I look for something and I cannot find it, I find a way to create it, And this is a case, for example, with a community. Some years ago, I was not able to find a community in which I could share my knowledge, I could share my feelings, what I was learning, and I was doing it like in a wrong way, in a bad way, like sharing to people that maybe they didn't want to listen to me.
Yeah.
So at what point I said, okay, I can't find this community, so I'm going to create one, So I created my community in which I can talk, I can express, I can share everything I learn. And the people that are there, it's because they want to be there, So we can look for what we are needing at this time and what are the gaps we have to achieve what we need.
Yeah.
So according to the gap and what we need, then we can find a way to create it by ourselves. So I think that the first thing we should do is like a list of the resources we have, the needs we have, and what we lack. What is that gap? And then try to make the connection. Okay, what I need to get this that I need, that I want to have.
Yeah, it's like you challenge your creativity and problem solving to bridge that gap or to eliminate that gap with a solution based on what you have at hand.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, what I have at hand was my voice, so
exactly.
Okay.
What I have at hand, it was my mom's skirt. So
exactly. So what I can do with this skirt, what I can do with my voice, what are the resources I have? Okay, I have a phone, I have an application, so I can open a community in that application, and later on I continue like adding things like, for example, the microphone. But at the beginning it was just with my phone. I was like recording. My first audios are like a mess. You can listen to a lot of noise. My voice is not clear, but because I was using just my phone. And later on, I was able to buy a microphone and to buy a better computer, because my computer was 11 years old. So what we have in that moment, make an inventory of what we have, and then what we want to achieve, and see what we can do with this.
I would add, I like what you are saying, and what I will add, that this sounds very close to the SWOT analysis, which we also discussed in one of our conversations. Because what you are saying, let's assess, let's put on paper what are the things which I have, like my strengths, my internal qualities, what I can leverage, right?
Exactly.
After that, let's also put on paper the limitations which I have to overcome. This could be the weaknesses, right? But look also from the perspective of the opportunities, right? What other things I can bring in from what I have, or external factors that I can leverage, right?
Exactly.
In order to bridge the gap, and what might be the threats or the risk to mitigate, right? In your example, the threat might be, oh my God, like my microphone, which is an external thing, is not working. How can I mitigate that one? How can I get a voice to my voice, right?
Yeah, amazing. Because, for example, for you, your creativity was your strength, right? And your willingness to act. But maybe someone in front of that situation can get paralyzed, the different reactions towards stress. So maybe for someone else, the weakness can be to act and to ask for help and to go and look for the wardrobe, to see what they found, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great tool, I think, to organize, as I said, like the list of, okay, what I have, what I need, where I want to go, and see what's the gap.
Challenges, right?
Exactly. What's the gap? Love it.
Yeah, so resourcefulness is a skill, I would say, that transcends the availability of resources. When you become the resource with your mind, creativity, and
your abilities.
And abilities, I think that's where the magic is happening, right? And it's a mindset of tackling problems with determination and turning constraints into opportunities.
Right? Beautiful.
Yeah, so whether you are the astronaut, fixing a space shuttle, or the teenage crafting a prom dress, resourcefulness empowers you to achieve your goals. And exactly. I think it's creating also lasting memories, because I will never forget that experience with my prom dilemma, but I will also never forget the beautiful memories I created with my classmates, the fun we had, and that kind of 5 a.m. in the morning returning home.
And I think it goes deeper, Kira, because when you are able to become resourceful, that gives you like more self-confidence, because you can see that, hey, I can get this through. I could do it in another way. I was able to tackle this difficulty, right? So you became like more self-confident on your abilities.
And also you have the courage. If you are solving a situation through being resourceful one time, you have the confidence, but also the courage, and you think that you're going to have solutions for everything coming your way.
Exactly. That that one experience is like sparkles the solution for many others that can come.
Exactly, because you see, you take the power in your hands. And you say, you know what, I'm gonna find a solution for this.
Yeah.
And I'm not out on that moment, sharing with a friend, sharing with your family. I'm just gonna do it.
I'm the creator of my reality.
True. So
amazing.
What the universe is having for
the universe is always on our side, my friend. Well, this week the protagonist of the week is Uranus. You know, I'm a very Uranus person, so it's like my signature. And Uranus talks about radical change, think out of the box, do things differently.
Be resourceful.
Be resourceful instead of waiting for resources to come to your door knocking. So this week, Uranus is going to start retrograding. Yes, he's going to stop his motion and he's going to go like slower for months. So this is a great opportunity to start like reviewing and making this inventory about what are the resources I have, where I want to go, what I want to achieve, and what's the gap, you know, to start like taking this time to harness inner innovation, but embracing the unexpected.
Interesting.
Yeah, because when we talk about Uranus, we never know what can happen. It brings surprises, it brings revelations. It talks about also it gives us like a clue about the future. So it's a futurist energy. So when it's active, we can receive a lot of insights, a lot of brilliant ideas, and think about intelligent solutions. And this time, Uranus is going to ask us to stop and review our inventory, review our actions. It's like we are gifted with the unique period of introspection and reevaluation during this month. And it is starting this week. So we can take advantage of all this energy and start like looking surround on our environment and see these resources we have and start like doing a resource reassignment, a mindset shift, a problem solving journaling maybe, and see what are the things I have and what are my talents and how I can use them in a more innovative way.
Or even more efficient, because sometimes when you look into a problem which you want to solve and you start becoming resourceful, you might even find more efficient and effective ways to get to the outcome, because you can become very creative, find some shortcuts, cut corners, and things might happen faster or simpler, right?
Exactly. And flow. The idea is to flow, don't get stuck.
Yeah.
Don't get like, oh, I don't have this, so I can't do anything.
Oh, I don't have money. I don't have.
Yes, don't get stuck. Just like waiting for the perfect moment, because it's not going to arrive and you're going to lose time. So be creative, take risk, change things and do things differently.
I was just listening to you and listening to the message coming from the universe. And I think that the call to action to our versus visionaries will be along these lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before our next episode, why don't you try to identify one challenge in your life versus visionaries and apply the concepts of resourcefulness we discussed today?
Mm-hmm.
Take that SWOT analysis and apply it on a difficult situation. Some of the thinking and structuring about what you have at hand, how you can fill that gap, which we discussed, and share your creative solution with us on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we can't wait to see what comes in our community for being resourceful and what kind of solutions you guys find with the resources on hand. And the first and most important resource being you.
Exactly. Beautiful.
So by next Saturday, Vicky.
Amazing. My friend.
A lot of love, and let's keep
Light.
analyzing our contrasts.
See you.